Hey FLOSSTUBE, it's Leigh from Creative Leigh on Sunday 28th of August with FLOSSTUBE number 140, and yes, it took me 139 and a half FLOSSTUBEs to get to 1,000 subscribers. Talk about a slow burn, but I did it. I ticked over to 1,000 this week. I think it was Tuesday, no, it might have been Wednesday, I don't remember what day it was. But anyway, I'm having a wee can of mango cider, which is weird, to say congratulations to me. I did it. I should really say you did it because, you know, without all you lovely people, wouldn't have made it. So it's kind of weird how much of a big deal it was. And I had lots of people, and you know who you are, messaging me going, oh, you know, 21 to go, 19 to go, 4 to go kind of thing. So also a little shout out to Kiwi Gal 67NZ, who was my 1,000th subscriber. She messaged me a note saying, it was me. She watched it tick over at 999 when she subscribed and go to 1,000. So I am going to send her a little something, probably just a little fat 8 in her preferred fabric. So I've got to get that ordered and dyed, but huzzah. So yeah, really happy with it. I got a lot of shout outs in the last week or so. It's definitely not what you know, but who shouts you out in this game, so really appreciate it. I'm kind of going to run through very quickly, a list of everyone that I know has shouted me out in the last however long, and quite a few of these in the last week or so. If I miss you, I'm really sorry. Oh, when I say shouted out to, I mean on FLOSSTUBE, on YouTube, so other YouTubers and stuff. I mean, she's actually taking a break from stitching at the moment, but the person who first shouted me out and who was my first subscriber and who encouraged me to start my YouTube was way back in November 2019, was Rachel Rara Stitching Realm. I know she's taking a break from stitching. She's still doing quilty tube, as she called it, on her channel, but you know, she encouraged me to do it, so it's all her fault. And then, you know, over the years, we've had Tara from the 805 Stitcher, and Sam from Mind My Needle, Stitches Costa Rica has shouted me out. Last week or so, we've had Lancashire Stitcher. I was going to say Lancaster. I've got aeroplanes in the head. Lancashire Stitcher. Oh my god, thank you for your shout out this week. Anne, who has started up her own channel, she's a Kiwi Stitcher here, who I go stitch with. She came around last weekend. Fiction and Floss, so she does talks about what she's been reading, and then she is showing what she's been stitching. So if you want to if you're interested in reading and stuff, she might be a nice one to check out. In stitching, of course, we've got Stitchy Sally, Ngara's Crafts, North Island Stitcher, Littlebypikku, Katt Stitch, Ellie Welliestitcher. I'm not sure if I've given you a shout out, Ellie, but thank you for your shout out. Darlene Dion Designs has given me a couple of lovely shout outs. Cardiff Stitcher Danielle, Danny from Wales, Blushing Pink Stitches gave me a shout out in the last week or two. Thank you. An Aussie and a Kiwi world, and of course I think the one singular YouTuber who's managed to help get me a big kick up the backside was Nicky Noodle Stitching, and go give any of these people a love. I'm going to do my best to put them in the doobly-doo. I'll make an effort to do that. So yeah, that's where we're at. I think at the time that I wrote my notes, I was at 1.03 thousand subscribers, so I can even lose a couple. Actually, I did check it during the week, and I think it said, I don't know, 900 and, I'm going to make up a figure, but let's say 974, and then I checked it later, and it was 973, so I did lose someone during the week, but then it made it up. Quick little dad update. I spoke to him this morning. He rang me to tell me he's all excited because he got a juicer on sale. This is the sort of thing, sort of conversations we have when they're not all about hospital visits. He was very excited about that, but I already knew the news because my sister called me last night to say, Dad rang me, he's excited about his juicer that he got on sale. So he said he had all these oranges that he needed to juice. And I said, well, why did you have all the oranges? He said, because he bought them. I'm like, oh, God. Anyway, so he's juiced 10 kgs of oranges, so he's very happy to have orange juice for breakfast. Not quite sure that's the best thing to have when you've got diabetes, but never mind. He's also got good news last week. The doctor gave him clearance to drive, so he is back behind the wheel of the Mazda 2. They did a whole lot of blood pressure tests, like, you know, stand up, sit down, bend over, and he was all good. Blood pressure is the best it's been for a long time, so basically, yeah, got clearance to drive again. So he couldn't get home and get the car out of the garage quick enough, and then he rang in the afternoon to say he'd already sold his scooter. So he has sold his little scooter that he picked up secondhand for the same price he paid for it. So essentially he's had like a, I don't know, 10-week free hire. Yes, there will come a day when he probably needs a scooter again, but with around the amount of rain we've had in the last few weeks, he has said, you know, if and when he needs to buy a scooter for permanent use, he'll sell his car and then buy a decent one that has a roof, because he was so limited with what he could do on his little scooter and not having, you know, full wet weather gear and stuff. And it's not the sort of thing you really want to put all your wet weather gear on just to go down to the supermarket to buy 2 litres of milk. So anyway, he's doing good. His shoulder surgeon, he got to the hospital and they had changed his appointment without telling him, even though he had had the text reminder the day before saying your appointment's tomorrow. When he got in there, for whatever reason, they'd moved it to the end of next month. So he gets to go on his birthday to have an appointment. He's a bit frustrated about that, but what are you going to do? Yes, that's Dad. What have I been up to? Work. Just work. Busy week at work. Had some issues some system things that went weird that took us a little while to work out. We got that resolved during the week, which was really good. Some airplanes flying by. Just wait for the plane to fly past. These are Wellington on a plate. It's a whole month-long gastronomic event, really. So first half of the month they do dine, which is sort of just fancy Wellington on a plate meals. The middle of the month they sort of have Beervana. It's like an Oktoberfest but in August. So a beer, boutique beers, and I don't even know, IPAs and all that stuff. And all I know is people book for a session and get really drunk. The second half of the month is Burger Wellington, where a lot of, like, about 300, 400 burgers are available for people to go and try. There's a competition. There's a cocktail event that goes all the way across, so you can go and get a fancy cocktail. But then also during the month they have events. So I went to one with my friends, and it's called Across the Ages at Boomrock Estate. And it was a... Boomrock Estate is up on the southern coast, so on the cliffs above, essentially above the Tasman Sea, the edge of Cook Strait. So quite a wild wilderness, about 250 metres above Cook Strait, and it wasn't a very nice day on Friday. But we caught, they include a bus, so they pick everyone up to bus out to the Boomrock Lodge, I should say. I think I might have said estate. And I think it was about 50 people, and it was a 7-course degustation. The theme Across the Ages, so it was using, every course had a different kind of cooking technique, from curing to smoking to tempering at the end with the chocolate. And there were wine matches or alcohol matches available, which I didn't do because I just didn't feel like drinking that much wine on Friday night. I just had a couple of glasses of wine, but it was really lovely. So I think we got picked up by the bus at 4:30 in town, and then got there by 5:45, and it's quite rural. I mean, it's just it's still in Wellington, but it's in a, anyway, it's a bit of a trek to get there, and we're in a transit bus, and the driver did a really good job because the roads are not made for bus, and also you have to climb quite up to get onto the cliffs, and with all the slips and the weather, a little bit intrepid, but it was really cool. So we did that Friday night. I think we got back, so I stayed with my friends, so we got back to their place at like 11:30, so I had left work at 3 to get to their place to get changed, to then catch an Uber back into the city to catch the bus and vice versa. So it was a long night, but food was lovely. I'm not a huge fan of duck, but the way that they did the duck, so we'd smoked duck, we started with the gravlax, and we had a little kind of pulled pork sort of terrine made out of pork, with various types of apple, a vegetarian sort of a creme de leek pasta, then a little palate cleanser, a gelato and creme fraiche, and then with a mint oil, and then we had smoked duck, we had sous vide venison, and dessert was like an affogato accompanied by an Italian liqueur, and it was delicious. And we had, I think to start when we got there, we had canapes and bubbles. We had some sparkling wine. I don't know what it was, whether it was vintage or non-vintage. It was pleasant, but I can't imagine it was vintage. With some mussels with a lovely little vinaigrette, and the other canapé was little wild mushrooms with pico, so a native herb. It was really yummy. So nice. I do like fancy food and going out for fancy dinners, but we don't do them very often, so it might be beans on toast tonight. This week on Wednesday I'm going to see Good Luck to You, Leo Grande, I don't know how his name's pronounced, with some of the girls from work, so that'll be really fun, I hope. Yeah, let's get on to the stitchy stuff. So that was the life stuff. I do have quite a big giveaway planned for my 1000, which I'm going to announce at the end, so do hang in there. I'm going to have some keywords and several giveaways and stuff. Put quite a bit of thought, and anyway, it's a nice giveaway. I think it's a nice giveaway. I would like it. I will do the giveaway from last week though, because I finished Cat Lovers. I'm giving the chart away, and I randomly used the random comment picker, and Jeep Girl Stitches and Switches. I think that's what you are, Jeep Girl Stitches and Switches. It's not easy to say. Congratulations, I picked your name using the keyword cat, so I know you're a relatively recent commenter, probably recent subscriber, so welcome. And let me know, email address in the doobly-doo, email me your mail address and I'll get that out to you. I have got some haul. What's come in? A couple of things have come in. So I got my Country Stitch monthly, fabric club from Catherine, and this is, I'm not going to take it out of the plastic, it's a fat half, so I upgraded this month. It's Edinburgh 36 count Copper Beach, which is a very soft grey, and I ordered this big ass piece of fabric. This is going to be a November start. It's going to be one of my 50/50 starts, and I'm going to be stitching Long Dog Samplers Quinto Okuto, the pointed fifth on it. So yeah, ordered the fabric especially for that, because I stitch all of my long dogs in 36 count. It's just a thing I do. And it's going to be a start in November. I'm going to start it on the anniversary of my floss tube. So my first floss tube was, I think, November 10th, 1919. I feel that old today. 2019. And I had a look back at my first video, and the work in progress at the time that I was focusing on was the Pilgrim. So I was stitching a long dog samplers. So I thought, well, I wanted to do this one in my year of 50, given it's all about the number 5. So it's going to be on this. And I had originally thought I might use PR070, which is the black, Silks for You. I'm going to take it out of the plastic. Be thankful I just cut a whole lot of that wrinkling out. And I know that future me, past me knows that future me will take out the crinkles. So yeah, that's PR070, which is black. So I've bought a couple of hanks of this recently. But I also bought half a hank of PR043, which is their kind of charcoal. And I actually think I'm going to stitch the Quinto Couto in charcoal. So I also had bought 3 skeins of PR181, which I thought that I might use either, for the animals in the windows. The animals, not the ones up here, but the animals in here. But I'm not sure. So it is quite highly variegated. So that is what I thought I might do. And I liked all the browns and stuff, but so it goes from a grey, kind of a charcoalish grey, not quite as dark, through to a light caramel. Because you may recall what month? So May 2022, this was the Silks for You colour, or Silks of the Month, with these 5 colours, which I love. And part of me is like, do I do this? And stitch the animals in the windows in there. So rather than having one highly variegated silk, using the less variegated but this colour palette, and I'm not sure. I definitely want to do this or even this on something. So then I'm like, do I use this on when I stitch one of the newer ones that came out from Long Dog? Not You Belong to Me, that's the Egyptian one, but the other one with all the safari animals, whatever that one's called, I'm like, maybe I use these for that. So either I'm going to stitch this for Quinto, or I'm going to go back to this. And with the grey though, I think I want to use the grey. The grey for both of them actually, the charcoal. Or I'm going to use this. So I'm not sure. I definitely want to do this combination of silk on something, but I might stick with keeping the Quinto Couto. I sort of thought these were like nice stone. Oh God, I've picked up the wrong things, haven't I? Oh man, this felt to me like stone, and thinking that we've got carved. I don't know, like these colours. It's on the back. The colours of, this is from the last page of the chart, showing the arches in, reality. And I kind of felt that evoked it, which is why I sort of picked those colours. So, I don't know. I've still got to decide. I've got a month or so to decide. So that is that fabric. It was quite a long time, wasn't it? But you're definitely going to see these in one of those charts, possibly the one that I can't remember the name of, but with the safari animals. And down the bottom, it's got a big sunrise kind of thing, and giraffes and stuff. So I feel like those colours feel to me like the Sahara. The Savannah, not the Sahara. I don't know. I'm so excited. Anyway, and then also at the same time, I got my Silks for You monthly, monthly order. So we got the Silks of the Month for July, and they are numbered 1 through 5, and they're just these lovely shades of oceany blue, quite pretty. So they came, and then I got my colours of the month, which are the standard range. We've got PR062, PR179, PR152 and PR073. Pretty. So they came. So that's everything new that's come into the house. Again, haven't bought anything. Going away in 6 weeks to Australia. Probably going to be spending money. What did I stitch on? So I had a new start last week, which was Alexander's Clock by Couleur Tourterelle, which I think was a free chart, and it's a reproduction. And I went a little bit ham with it. I started stitching it. I made lots of changes to it. So that's the piece here, which I hadn't really looked at too well. And of course it's a reproduction, and there's all sorts of wonky stuff. Like these look like it should be centered. It's not centered. The clock is kind of wonky. The crowns weren't symmetrical. This bushy thing, I don't know what was going on. The bird, and I don't know what that was supposed to be. And one of these, like, I just changed it. I changed a whole lot of stuff. Because I can. And I had mentioned last week that it may or may not be a start and a finish, and in the end it was a start and a finish. This is the only thing I stitched on all week. I didn't stitch a couple of days, like Friday night was a write-off. Tuesday night when I got from work I didn't stitch. I didn't get, but it's not a tiny piece, but it wasn't a huge piece, and of course monochromatic. So stitched that on 36 count Aspen from Weeks Dye Works. It's the old kind of Weeks Dye Works. I think it's my last piece, thank goodness, because it's very rough and fluffy. I don't love it. And I use Victoria Model Sampler Shop in Holiday Red. That's the same colour, it's the same red that I used on my Red Deer sampler. Started it on start number 32 of 50, started on the 21st of August and finished on the 27th of August. Was that last night? Yeah, last night. And I changed some of the motif. So made the border more symmetrical, and twiddled with some of the letters where I felt like they weren't finished or they didn't match some of the other letters. This is all moved over one stitch. This is moved this way one stitch. And then when I got down here, I didn't stitch the bird, although I wanted someone to put my initials in the year. So this is as called for. These I just added because I had too much of a gap. The lettering for my initials in the year and that flower pot is as charted, but the weeds above it I changed, and I went through, so I got the lettering and the pot, or the flowers that were in the pot from this book. So I just went through this and found something that would work in a mono, because these are charted, not all mono, they're charted sometimes in a number of symbols and stuff, but where's that flower pot? So it's this one here on page 54, nothing like page 23. So the one that's here, so basically I stitched the little basket that was on the chart, and then I just added this one in. And of course monochromatic, and yeah, ditched the bird because I just didn't have any room. And then I recharted the clock a little bit to make it symmetrical, and I made an extra stitch wide because this is a symmetric, anyway, to make it symmetrical. And that meant then my middle of my clock, I stitched the hands in the middle of the clock half a stitch over, so it's centered, and then yeah, made sure the crowns were symmetrical, spaced them all out. I didn't sketch anything down, I just sort of stitched it as I went, a little bit like these girls would have done. And I just made it a little bit more symmetrical, made it my own. So yay, it's like first glance you go, yeah, that's Alexander's clock, but it's actually, I don't know how I'm like, I can't find the picture. It's because it's behind. So there's actually lots of little differences to it, but it's, you know, in the same vein. So really happy with it. I've enjoyed kind of fiddling around with it. I really need to start doing something like my own design or something, just because I'm changing things increasingly. So that was that one done. So that's the only stitching that I've done, but that's okay. I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed getting that start and finish. So I'll quickly talk about what's coming up, then I'll get on to the giveaways. It's going to take up a little bit of time. What's coming up is... oh shit, I need to go and get it. I'll be right back. So my next start's going to be start number 33 of 50, and I'm starting that on the 1st of September. So I'm not going to start this until Thursday, because that's the first day of spring, and I like to have a start on the first day of spring at the meteorological day of spring. And I've written down the wrong fabric. I don't actually know what this is. I've written down that this is 32 count light mocha by Weeks Dye Works, but I don't remember ever buying Weeks Dye Works in 32 count, and I don't think it is. I think it's definitely, it just smells like Zweigart. Smells like Zweigart fabric. Yeah, I don't remember. It's 32 count, and it looks like a light mocha, but yeah, I just don't remember buying it. So unless someone gave it to me, I don't know. So on Thursday, I'm going to start Rachel Holmes. This is my heartstring samplery designed by Beth Twist. It is not a reproduction sampler. It is a modern sampler in the style of it. It does have specialty or embroidery stitches, charted for all Weeks Dye Works, but I did my own colour conversion, which I've done silk, 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 silk. It's all silk, so I'm doing my own silks. I think mostly, if not all, silks for you colour conversion, which I'm very excited about. So yeah, I think I might personalise this for a family member. I can't remember who I thought I might do this for. I don't know. I will just leave the names out and I mean, they're at the top, which is nice, so I stitch up. So I'm looking forward to doing all those little bands and stuff. It's quite pretty. So it's nice and bright and fresh after having done a red sampler. 32 count something. The model was stitched on 32 count, so yeah, I just don't remember where I got the fabric from. Or what it is. It's going to be exciting. That was going to take a little bit longer to finish. You will not have a start and finish next week. But it does mean for the rest of the week, I mean, I'm going out on Wednesday night to the movie, so tonight, Monday and Tuesday, I can focus on a couple of other projects, like I'm going to have Pattern Keeper out, so it'll be my long neglected Mary Rose and working towards getting a finish on Karen Manning Design Sunset. So that's what I've stitched on, that's what's new, and that's what's coming up. All that is left is for me to talk about my 1,000 subscriber giveaway. And I've even typed up a list of instructions. The giveaways will be open for 4 weeks. I'm going to leave this one open for a month, and I'm going to announce the winners on the 25th of September. So in 4 weeks, it's going to be a floss tube. So I will have given people 4 weeks to enter, and then there's a couple of the prizes don't exist yet, which I'll talk through in a minute. So, and a couple of the prizes require me to be in contact with you to choose a fabric count or a needle count. One of the prizes is going to be made by Judith, and she just got the fabric. She's in the States at the moment, and she's got to get back to New Zealand, and probably the first thing on her list is make a bag for me. Oh, it's a bag. And also, yeah, some of it is fabric that I'll get you to choose if you win what your count is, and be ordering that from Country Stitch. So, and then I'm going to be in Australia for the first half of October. So I figure that I'm not going to be able to post anything out until November, giving the people who are going to be providing some of the prizes some time to make the prizes. die to order and what have you, and it's just aiming to have that all sort of wrapped up in October, and I will, and get them out in November. You will only be able to win one giveaway, and I will use the random YouTube comment picker to choose winners in the order that I list the prizes. So I'll pick, prize A first, prize B second. But you can enter for as many as you like. You must be at least 18, happy to give me your address for shipping, or to pass your address on to someone else if I get them to post directly. Avoid any of the troll trigger terms like giveaway, free prize, win, all that sort of stuff. Giveaways will not be replaced if they go missing or are damaged in shipping. I'm not a business. I don't have insurance. It's unfortunate, but they'll get there, I'm sure. And again, giveaways will be shipped in November. So I'm going to give you some information about prizes and some keywords. And I'm going to hold this sheet up at the end so you can take a screenshot if you want. But as part of the comment, you must comment on this video. So even if I mention it next week or the week after, you still have to come back to video FLOSSTUBE number 140, and you must comment on this FLOSSTUBE. And in your comment, I want to make it a little bit harder. Not harder to win because it's a random thing, but I just want to make sure that subscribers are entering and stuff. In the comment, you need to just tell me approximately how long you've been a subscriber for. It's mostly just because I'm interested. I don't know necessarily if you're a subscriber or not, but I figure if you tell me about it, and it could be 5 minutes ago, or it could be since the beginning, or a couple of months. It doesn't have to be like the June the 2nd. Just tell me, tell me how long you've been a subscriber for. And then you need to include any of the keywords you want to enter for. So I don't have everything here because obviously they don't exist. There's going to be 10 giveaways, 5 big giveaways, and 4, that's not maths, 5 big giveaways, and then 5 sort of consolation prizes, which will be a pack of, I'm going to pick 5 people and send them a pack of Peacemaker needles. They're my favourite needle, and you'll get to tell me which size because I'll buy them from Catherine. So from Country Stitch. I don't own them yet, so it's not like you have to have size 28. So you can choose 24, 26 or 28, and I'll order them from Catherine. So there's 5 little consolation prizes, but they're at the bottom of the list. So first up, Judith has kindly messaged me from the States showing me some fabric, saying can she make a project bag for my giveaway? And I'm like, yes, you can make a project bag. So when she gets back and gets settled, Judith's going to make a project bag. Now, Judith project bags are amazing. I believe it's going to be Blackbird fabric, but don't hold me to that in case that changes. It's going to look something like this. This is not the bag, this is mine. So it's going to be a standard size project bag and something like this. I think she's got a couple of colours. I don't know if you're going to have any choice about charm or anything, but it's going to be a project bag, and who wouldn't want one? So Judith's bags are the best bags that I've ever seen. She's very careful about things lining up and looking seamless and beautifully sewn. She always picks lovely lining, and she's very conscious of making sure the zip and the charm suit the bag. So I'll just show you some of her beautiful stitching up close. Her stitching is just lovely. Now I've done a day with Judith to sew one of her bags. I know how to do it, but I'd much rather just give her money to make them. So the other thing Judith does is she uses beautiful zip tape, and the zip tape's nicer than a zip you get from a sewing shop, and they're all designed to have zip pulls on them, so they're not, and she always picks a zipper pull that matches the zip in the bag and stuff. So I chose this one because I paid for this bag, and I chose the antique bronze sort of looking zip with scissors. But anyway, Prize number 1 is going to be a project bag by Judith, and it will be, the keyword for that will be project bag. So you'll type in project bag. I will search for project bag, and I'm going to show you them all at the end. The second prize, so this is the order that I'll draw winners on. The second draw, the keyword will be fabric, and I'm going to get a fat quarter of your choice of fabric and colour from Catherine at Country Stitch. So I'm paying for this. I'll just order it from her as part of my order I do every month. And, you know, if you get drawn out, we'll liaise back and forward, or whether you want even weave, or she'll dye Ada, even, you know, all the ranges of fabric. Yeah, even weave, Ada, linen. I think she goes up to 40, is it 45 count linen? She might even have 55. Don't quote me on that. She's even recently started stocking 40 count Verdale, so she can do even weave up to 40 count. Yeah, so we'll negotiate, or I can give advice if you're not familiar with their fabric. I can advise. You know, what I think would be a nice fabric based on what you might use it for. So that will be keyword fabric. The next giveaway is going to be, and I talked about this the other week, I've got the full set of all 4 seasons of the drawn thread gardens. So I've got the spring garden and the summer garden, the autumn garden, and the winter garden. You know, I finished the winter garden recently. I did it all as called for. Now, these charts are not new. They were racked to me. Sian Miller, Sian sent these to me as a gift in a box of stuff last year, I think it was. And she knew that I was already stitching them, but she thought I might like to give them away. I've just sat on them for a little while thinking it's such a nice pack. And I mean, in New Zealand, it retails for about just over $100 for all 4 in New Zealand. So they can go anywhere. Oh yeah, all my prize drawers open for anywhere, these ones. The call for is on 32 count. You could stitch it on, I wouldn't recommend Ada. There is a lot of, each of the charts has some embroidery stitches or specialty stitches, and they can be a bit annoying on Ada. I mean, you can you can give it a go on Ada, I just wouldn't personally. But if you're not sure about specialty threads, they're nice ones to cut your teeth on because they're not overwhelming. And they're all pretty simple and pretty. You can stitch with, they're called for in fancy silk, so they're not cheap to kit up, but you could stitch them in DMC or in your own threads that you've already got. Keyword for this pack, so you get all 4, and thanks again to Sian for sending these to me, and the keyword is charts, so CHARTS. Prize number, the next 2 prizes are some skeins of silks for you that I bought a while ago. Just had them sitting here. There are 2, each of them has 4 skeins, 4 15-metre skeins of silk, and you'll get all 4, so that's 60 metres of, and it's all from the same, they're from the same batch, so they will match beautifully. So you get 60 metres of 6-stranded silk. I got 2 packs, so you will use the keyword green if you would like to be in to win these 4 skeins of PR137. And PR137 is what I stitched. Long Dog Samplers Arcade in, which I finished sometime last year. I stitched the majority of it in this, and when I ordered these, I didn't check, and I was like, oh, I really like that colour, and of course I actually still have half a hank left, so I didn't even need this because I have half a hank of this colour. But 4 skeins is a lovely amount that you could do you couldn't do a whole long dog in it, but you could do half a long dog, or you could do, yeah, a smaller monochromatic piece. So use the keyword green, GREEN. And the other 4 skeins I bought on a whim and decided I'm probably not going to use them. They've just been sitting there for quite a while. 4 skeins of PR078, and that is lovely. I think I thought I might stitch an Indian piece with it, but I went with another colour. So these sort of salmony pinks and violet. It's quite pretty. So if you're interested in winning this bundle, you need to use the keyword pink, P-I-N-K. So those are the 5 big prizes. So when you comment, so here's, if you want a screenshot, here's the rules and all the keywords. So just to go back on that, so when you comment, you'll tell me how long you've been a subscriber for, and then just list your keywords. You don't need to be clever about it, just list them if you want. If you want to be in for the project bag, use the keyword project bag. If you're interested in the fat quarter of fabric of your choice from Country Stitch, use the keyword fabric. If you're interested in the drawn thread seasonal garden samplers, charts, use the keyword charts. And if you are in for the silks for you, you've got green or pink, depending on which one you're interested in, or of course you can use both. And if you'd like to also be considered for one of the 5 sort of consolation prizes of a pack of Peacemaker's needles, use the word needles. I have also included in there how to check out, so we've got Instagram links there for Judith, she's at Stitching Cats, and Sian is stitching with Maine Coons. Yep, it looks like people who are generous have cats. And then I've got the email address there, sorry, the website address there for countrystitch.com, which is Catherine's thing. I haven't put up Silks For You, but I think it's silksforyou.com or silksforyou. Not sure. Silks For You, S-A-L-K-S, the number 4, and then you. Exciting, right? So again, up for 4 weeks. Keywords, project bag, fabric, charts, green, pink, and needles. Tell me how long you've been a subscriber for. I'll draw the winners ready for my YouTube, my FLOSSTUBE on the 25th of September. Thanks again for coming along and watching me another week. I did a start and a finish, but I didn't have that much to show you this week, but I felt like I had a lot to talk about. So yeah, it's been a fun 139, now 140 FLOSSTUBEs. That's it. I'm going to wrap it up now, go edit this video and write all that list of YouTubers in my comments. Thanks for coming along, and see you next week. As always, don't let your needles rust. Ciao.